Today, we are checking out Future Audio Workshop's Sublab XL, which is the second iteration of Sublab, and they have made some pretty huge changes, hence the name XL. Come on, let's get it. So the first thing that you'll notice is the new Sublab XL UI. So the UI in itself does stay tried and true to the original in terms of being able to restretch it and stuff like that. It's a little wonky on mine. I'm running the original build that was sent to me, so I do apologize for that. But then again, I'm using the MPC software. But yeah, the new micro system is pretty cool. You can see it's pretty animated, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. You can set up the different settings, the interface zoom, if you want to set it up this way and get it squared off the way that you want it. You can do that as well. Let's go back into the synth engine because they did add some stuff in here, and we'll talk more about the new UI features. And you can hear that is 808 that I designed, by the way, and it comes with Sublab XL. So I did a pack just for Future Audio Workshop. What they did add, let's talk about the oscillators here, or the oscillator. They had added a super saw area in which we're not going to hear much from this preset right now. But you can tell that, you know, you can detune, you can widen and make your 808s pretty wide if you want to do that. I kind of like to keep my 808s mono just for the sake of hearing the frequency, because that's how 808 should sound. You can change the different wave shapes to triangle and square, so you can try any interesting stuff. But again, it's being filtered out. Ooh, you can hear a little bit more girth in that now. But yeah, so that is one of the cooler things about this. You have this modulation area where you can change things from volume to pitch, filter, LFO now. And that was something that I complained about to my peoples over there at Future Audio Workshop. And God bless you guys for listening to us on that feedback. And they added the glide area right here. Right now it is not on, but they have a couple of slight improvements like BPM retriggering, glide time and stuff like that. Let's see if we can mess with glide time and get something going. Yeah, so yeah, you can do some pretty nifty things with your 808s. You would have to explore my pack because I did a lot for it. And then we have the more traditional things like the filter section, which has been expanded. But what I want to do is just show you some of the frequencies that I had in this 808. Let's drop it an octave. And let's mess with the low pass. And of course, it's all assignable. You can also change the group here. And if you pay attention to the bottom left side of the UI, it also tells you what you can do with this. It says toggle filters, keyboard tracking. If toggled on, the filter cutoff will be offset depending on the notes played. Let's turn it on. And that's pretty cool. The other thing that I didn't talk about in the oscillator, and I apologize, is that you can put in samples. Again, you know, Future Audio Workshop put in samples that I use all the time for making 808s because I like to layer my kick with the 808 so we can have more of a modern sound. So that is possible. So, you know, if I would just go ahead and preview that real quick. And you can see it's a little messy, and that's where you would just kind of kill some of those frequencies in the low pass filter. They have the distortion area. The distortion area is about the same, but they added tape. So, you know, if I was to add that and make some tape 808s, you can. And again, remember, you can assign it to the sample or the main oscillator, the synth engine itself. So it yields some pretty interesting 808s. And that was one of my main things that I wanted done with this. And they added that, and that's very cool. So we got lo-fi 808s now. That is awesome. So what I did was I hit the plus sign here. Let me go ahead and remove that. You can add more effects now, and that was necessary because if you do something like crushing, let's turn off wave shaper real quick so you can hear the difference. So let's go ahead and do that. So now you can have more interesting 808s or bass, by the way. You can carve this out or use this for carving out basses. So it's not just for 808s. So if you do anything like jungle or drum and bass, you can have Sublab in the mix for that, or even dubstep now, seeing that it has modulation. But going forward here, the Bit Crusher, really good addition. And one of the things I want you to pay attention to is the way that you can filter out your 808s, because sometimes you want to get rid of the lower 50 hertz because it might overlap with other frequencies that might need that 50 hertz in your track, depending on how you produce. And that's pretty cool. Playing with modulation or playing with the micros is pretty simple. It's a drag and drop process here. So if I wanted to put decimator on here and then I want to mess with like the curve, you can. So let's go ahead and do that and have the new micro system set on that. You can also invert the micro so that you can do different things with it. And you can see what it will come up with off top here. So messing with that, let's get that going. So this is a bit of a visual treat. Let's go ahead and preview all of the 808s that I created in my pack, which is Hits DNA. Whatever the name might be, it might have changed, I don't know. My 808 game is monstrous. Just know that. Before we even continue with the music, let's talk about DistroKid for a second. So I use DistroKid for all of my digital distribution needs. However, it has promotional tools as well, like HyperFollow, which links all of your social media platforms all into one link, as well as your streaming platforms too, so that people can save your album even if it's not out on Spotify or Apple Music or whatnot. And that's a very useful tool just to get your plays up and to let people know that your project is out there. And then they have Visi, which is a very powerful visualizer that is very easy to use, and you're able to captivate your audience on probably two of the most important social media platforms right now, which is IG and TikTok. And that is a very important tool to use. So make sure that you check it out. Link in the description box. And if you use my link, you get 7% off.